fast possible. Okay, back to the recording. Okay, we're recording. Yeah, we're recording. Okay, great. So that's how the dashboard of the Google Ads looks. Obviously, I'm looking right now as a account that already has a campaign running, so I can see information, statistics on the campaign, or basically the dashboard, the home view of Google Ads. So let's have a brief overview of what are the different things that I can see and how it's structured. Okay, so you know where to look for what and the basics, the fundamentals of Google Ads. So on the left side, all over the top is navigation menu. You can see the 3 lines over here, and basically this is the menu. Okay, so there are different 2 levels of menu. Now, once again, they changed the design not a long time ago. So this is the new design. Okay, so you can see I can see some of the options in the menu over here on the left side, but there's still more things that I don't see. You can see the little gray area here. When I put my mouse over the arrow over here, or I go here on the top and click on it to show me this menu. You can see already that there are different types of campaigns that people can do. Search campaigns, shopping campaigns, and smart campaigns. Now, I don't want to go too deep into that because today we're going to focus mostly on search campaigns, because search campaigns are the most important ones that you want to start with and learn, and the basic one that is using Google and the power of Google. But you should know there is something called Google Shopping. Google Shopping, it's mostly used, it's not used in Israel, it doesn't exist in Israel, but in America, in the UK, in France, in most of the major big countries, it's basically showing you in the search results little ads or little images of products, like on Amazon or eBay. Okay? Those are Google Shopping, Google products. And you can also put your product, if you're selling a physical product, you could put it in the search result. They will see your product, they will see the price of it, and they can click on it, and basically they can see the product and then order it directly from Google Shopping or to go to your website. It's another way of showing products. Doesn't work in Israel. No. You can, if you're in Israel, you can still, if you would sell a product, a physical product to Americans, you could use it, but you cannot advertise such products in Israel yet. Yes, not all of them, some of them. You want to look for more information about that, start, search Google Shopping, you will see everything about that. They're just rolling it country by country. They're starting by the big countries. So we have a small country, so they don't want to translate everything or to focus on Israel at the moment. Anyway, back to the focus of the Google search campaign. So right now I'm in the overview screen, which is the dashboard, where I can see layout of all the most important information I would have in a campaign. The first part, it's very similar to Google Analytics for those of you that are familiar with it. And you can see here on top, basically an overview of this month's results. I can see 2 types of information, clicks and impressions. Impression is how many times my ad was shown, an impression, like we learned on Facebook impressions. But I'm not paying Google by impression, by CPM, like on Facebook. I'm paying Google by click. So that's why the most important metric, the most important piece of information on Google Ads is the clicks, right? Here I can see in the month of June, this month, you can see the dates here, this month, I have 196 clicks in total for the campaigns and 5,000 impressions. Okay? The average CPC, the average cost per click, was 3.73 shekels. Okay? I'm seeing it in shekels because I chose, since the account is based in Israel, to be charged and billed and everything will be in shekels. If I'm going to switch currency, like we can do also on Facebook ads, I can choose to have my currency, main currency in dollars. Then I will be charged in dollars and everything will be in dollars, but try to have the currency from which either you're operating physically or from which your credit card is using. If you're using an Israeli credit card, it will be cheaper for you to use shekels, not dollars. It won't charge you VAT, even if that's your shekels, because Google is trying to trick there's a big lawsuit against Google from the state of Israel, trying to switch it. But right now you don't charge VAT because they're billing you in shekels, but they're using a company in Ireland. Okay, so they're not charging you VAT. You get an invoice from Google Ireland. No VAT. No VAT. Like any type of services or product you buy from overseas, there's no VAT involved. You don't charge VAT, you don't have to charge VAT. Completely out of VAT. It's like this for every type of business. If you have a company in Israel and you're selling a product or a service to a company outside of Israel, then on the invoice there is no VAT. It's exempt of VAT. A little bit like in Elat. In Elat, right, there is no VAT. Same thing if you're making business with a foreigner outside of Israel. Okay? Now, you can see the total cost for the whole month. So what is 731 shekel? It's basically 196 clicks on the average of cost per click 3.73 shekels. So total of 731 shekels for this month. What are the keywords? We talked about it's using keywords, right? So I chose to feature my ad when people are looking for those keywords. So I can see how much I spent in total for each keyword, how many clicks did I get on this relevant keyword, and on the right side, I can see searches that people are searching according to how many times they have searched a certain keyword. 1 second. It will basically also give you suggestions. So all the keywords that I'm seeing on the right side, it searches box. I can add them, either I already have them or I can add them as keywords that I might want to use for my campaign. Then here you can see on the left side, most shown search ad. It's showing a preview of how my ad looks. So when someone goes on Google, he will see the ad like this. Okay. You can see once again the impressions of this specific ad, clicks, and the CTR. What is the CTR? CTR is the click-through rate. It's if people have seen my ads 100 times, 100 impressions, how many of those 100 have actually clicked on the ad? So 3.17%. It means that of 100 times my ad was shown, in average, 3 people would click on it. That's fine. Yeah, that's 3 to 5% is an average on those type of ads. On the right side, you can see a preview of the landing page to which I'm sending people over when they click on the ad. Now I can see other information. The device, what type of device did people use when they were searching for those keywords or clicking on an ad. And on the right side, I can see demographics. So you can see gender, and age. So on the left side, I can see most of the searches, by far, the blue column is mobile phones. You can see very clearly, 75% of my impressions were from my mobile phone. 84% of my clicks were from mobile phone. 9% of the clicks were from tablets in red. Okay? Only 6% of my clicks were on desktop, either laptops or physical computers.
Which areas did you target?
America. Yeah. So it's really, really impressive. I can tell you from this campaign that most of the sales, also by far, they come from mobile phones. So people buy from their phone. They actually do it. And surprisingly, I can tell you from this client, from this campaign, that most of the customers that are buying are women who are 65 years old or more. So grandmas or our mothers, right, 65, 70-year-olds and more people in America are actually using their phone to search for gifts or items to buy and actually buying it straight from their phone.
Well done. Jeremy, you know what I found out also? That Amazon created the option to order stuff via voice on Alexa. Mm-hmm. So you could order batteries and like all sorts of things. So you don't even look at it.
Yeah, there are some famous cases. Amazon and Google as children who were buying stuff, and suddenly you have 50 pizzas coming your door. You don't understand where it comes from because your son was hungry for pizza. And spoke to the smart speaker, so things happen. But yeah, mobile is very important, as you can see here. On the right side, the demographics. So here also you can already see it. You can see female. You can see the darker it is, it means the more popular it is. So you can see the darkest of those little squares, little tiles on the screen is clearly the 55 to 64 female, okay? 29% of the total. But I can tell you it's even more than that. Okay, you can even see also what time and what day is the most popular time, like day and actually hour, when people are searching for the type of keywords that you are bidding for.
Sunday. It's Thursday.
Yeah, church day and weekend day. So people are not working, they have time for that, and church day. Good point. Nice.
Okay.
Interesting. Of course, you have to check the time zone because right now the time zone is Israel. So if I'm looking at 6 a.m., it's not 6 a.m. America time, it's 6 a.m. Israel time. Yeah, cool. Okay, let's move forward. So this is the overview screen. Now, obviously, when you're going to start, the first thing you want to start with is you want to make a campaign. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to make a campaign. But maybe before making your first campaign, you have no idea about what type of keywords you need to use, right? We already know that you need to use keywords to tell Google when do you want your ad to appear. So you asked me, how do I find the right keywords for my campaign? So there are a few ways to do it. One way is using Google Tools. So you can see here on the top, there's a place called Tools. If I click on Tools, very nice menu pops up, similar maybe in design to the one from Facebook. You can see some of those things are very similar one to another. Okay, so you have all the right side, the setup page is where you want to go and set up and put your payment information, your credit card or whatever you need, your invoice information, things like that. You can connect it here, you can see measurements. Like on Facebook, there is something like a pixel. You have the Google Ads pixel. You will want to install it on your website. Here in Google, they don't call it here in the menu pixel. They call it conversions. So everything related to the same idea of the pixel on Facebook, here it comes up as the conversions. And here in the conversion, you'll be able to set up your pixel, but we won't go through it today. You'll have to play with it or learn it yourself or come to the next course about that. What I do want to look here in this menu is here on the left side, the keyword planner. Okay, so let's look on the keyword planner where it can help us maybe to find which keywords we're looking for. In the meantime, when it's loading, I'm going to tell you that I think that there is, I would say, three sources of information that you can use to find out the right keywords for your own product or service. So one will be this tool that I'm going to show you in a minute, the Google Keyword Planner. A second tool will be another one from Google, and it's called Google Trends. Google Trends is a great source of information, not only for Google Ads, also in general when you're making market research. Also, you can use it even for Facebook. So Google Trends will show you on a historic basis how much are people using a keyword, searching for a specific keyword compared to the previous times, compared to the rest of the history. This year compared to last year, today compared to 5 years ago, whatever. There's a lot of information. It will give you information also on up-to-date information. So right now, you can see people are looking for those keywords that it's showing right now, okay? So I'm going to be able, they're going to give me a lot of different types of stuff which are very relevant to now. Women's World Cup, because it's happening right now, if you don't know. Recently trending, you can see what people are looking for right now. It's showing right now the information from America. So people in America apparently this week are very much into everything related to the soccer World Cup in the US. You can see a lot of information, historic information, if you want to prepare and decide what type of product you want to launch or invest in. It's very valuable. You can change a country if you want to go and look for information from another country. I could go to Israel and look what's popular or what's going to happen in Israel. But let's start with an example. So let's say everyone wants football. Let's look at something else. Let's look at our classical example of duck food. Yeah. Boom. I just want to show you how it looks so you know, and you can always play with it yourself and spend hours on it. It's very fun. Yeah, that's the second way. First way we're going is the Google Keyword Planner. The second way is the Google Trends. And the third way, in the meantime, as it's loading, I already showed it to you. The third way of looking for the right keyword is simply by going to Google search yourself and start by typing a very generic, very simple keyword, okay, like pizza. The first way is the Google Keywords Planner on Google Ads itself. The second way is Google Trends. Third way is on the Google search itself, okay? So you go to Google search, you start by typing a very general keyword. Let's say I'm in the pizza industry, so pizza. And then Google will give you suggestions. You see the suggestions? Those suggestions are great ideas because those suggestions are usually popular or relevant for people in my same situation like me. Like if I'm right now in Tel Aviv, people in Tel Aviv will look for Pizza Domino's because it's quite popular in Tel Aviv, or Pizza Hut, okay? All those type of searches. So those are things that I can use to get ideas for keywords. So I can use it as a start if I have no idea what to start with. And by the way, you can also use a very good tactic on Google Ads is to use the keywords of your competitors. Let's say there's a very big competitor in your industry. Let's say Pizza Hut is very popular and I am Pizza Domino's. I could choose to show my ad when someone is searching for Pizza Hut. Okay, because I know when someone is looking for Pizza Hut, they want to order a pizza. So I might as well try to convince them to click on my pizza instead of Pizza Hut. So you can bid on the keywords of your competitors, of other famous companies, to try to push your brand. So if you're selling sport shoes, you can bid on Adidas football shoes, and you being another brand, that's fine. Okay, so those are a great idea to try to push your brand in front of others. Let's go back to the other options. So Google Trends. Right now you can see, okay, dog food, United States, past 12 months. So you can see a line. So it doesn't give me a lot of information. The only thing I can see is that when there's a big drop or a big jump. Okay, so here you can see, yes, right, tell me.
It's Christmas, everybody gets a dog for their kids, and they all go out and get Christmas stuff, and then come January, what is it?
So for some weird reason, maybe there's a good reason for, like you said, probably related to Christmas. Maybe there are other reasons. Maybe people are going on vacation, they need to stock up on food or dog food, or there are special maybe promos, discounts in December, because you can see the jump. For some reason, the last 12 months, in December 2018, the week of this 2 to the 8th of December, there's a jump of like double. It just doubled. The amount of searches is relative. Okay, the number I see here, it's a percentile. It's like a relative number, like a score. Okay, so 53 is the average. 50 is the average. Okay, suddenly, on 1 week, it jumped to 100. You can see the line here. So it doubled. So for some reason, maybe there was a new product that just launched, a big campaign. Maybe there was a scandal. I could go and research why it happened. No, it's not a number. It's not an absolute number. It's a relative number. It's like a random number just to get an idea of comparing something over time. So no, it's not a number. It's an average. It's 50 is the average. 50 is like
the baseline.
the baseline, the percentile. זה הממוצע. זה לא מספר, זה אחוז. Got it? It shows here, look. It will explain here the help. Look, it explained it here. Numbers represent search interest relative to the highest point on the chart for the given region and time. A value of 100 is the peak popularity for the term. A value of 50 means that the term is half as popular. A score of 0 means there was not enough data for this term. You can't see it here. Here it's only great question, but here you can only see over time. So you can compare two types of keywords, or you can compare different countries, or you can compare history-wise. Okay, let's do a history search from 2004. You can see, okay, that in 2008 there were like a score of 16. In 2019 we are at 36. So it does mean that people search double the amount of people search right now for dog food in comparison to 10 years ago. Okay? But what is more interesting is, for example, where do people search for food, dog food? Wyoming, Montana are the most popular states where people are searching for dog food. Okay? So this is interesting. Let's look past 12 months. Still, Wyoming, Montana, Colorado, New Hampshire, Arizona. You can see the related topics, related queries to dog food. So it does give me a lot of information. You can see also that something happened. You can see the jump breakout plus 4,600%. It means boom, in 2019, there was a big scandal probably about heart disease, grain food for dogs, and people were scared about their dogs, so they searched a lot for that. So yes, you can learn a lot of things from these Google Trends, okay? And you can use it in your favor. If you want to learn trends, it's a great place to look for. But it also gives information for keywords. Now let's go back to Google Ads itself. So here's the keyword planner, okay? Let's go through it. Okay, here we go. So there are two options they give you to start with. One, on the right side, get search volume and forecast. If you want to know more or less how many people are searching for something per month, this is where I would go. If I want to get ideas, I could go here. It will give me more suggestions. I'll type a word and then it will give me other suggestions. Right now, I want to first look at search volume. Okay? So I need to start with a keyword. I need to give it information. What do you want to start with? Dog food or pizza? Dog food.
You can put another line with pizza too.
I can do it. Here we go. בבקשה. So it will give me that information that I want to see. Okay. What can I see here? It's very valuable. Have a look. I can get basically everything I would need to have enough information to launch a campaign for dog food, but where? In Israel, right? Right now I'm looking at Israel. I'm looking at the word dog food in English. Don't forget, language is important. Okay. What can I see here? To give me a forecast of what I can expect. I can expect to get about 54 clicks, okay? Because in average, there would be about 750 impressions per month for the word dog food in Israel, in English. I would have to spend about 140 shekels for the whole month, okay? Why? All those numbers are calculated according to average information that Google has from last month. So I know that in average, there are about 750 people looking for dog food in English, once again, in Israel per month, okay? And we know also that the average cost per click or the bid of other companies is 2.5 shekels. So if I'm willing to pay 2.5 shekels per click to Google to feature my ad, my product, on the keyword dog food in Israel English, okay, this is what I will get. I will get about 54 clicks per month out of an average of 750 impressions. Why? Because they know that in average, there will be about 7%, 7 out of 100 people that will click on my ads. Okay? So here you have a good idea of how it works and what you can do. Of course, you can play with it. You can change everything. You can change language, location. You'll have different results. Yeah, go ahead.
The cost. You set the cost right from the beginning when you set the campaign, right? It's not that if you set it for 100 and then when you reach the 100, it will go beyond it. So because the credit card details is already in the system, so it will.
No. So like on Facebook, you choose, okay, how you have full control over how much you're willing to spend. You can choose a campaign limit, like on Facebook, how much the maximum you're willing to pay for the whole campaign. You can choose a maximum per day. I want to spend 10 shekels per day. This will be sent. You can choose a maximum you're willing to spend per month, whatever you want. Okay. You can also choose how much maximum you're willing to bid or to spend per click. You can tell Google, maximum I'm willing to spend per click is 1 shekel. Now, if the average is 10 shekels, then no one will see your ad because there is too much competition. And it's all about competition. So you need, if you want your ad to be shown, you need to have a competitive bid. You need to take into account what the others are bidding and what is the average bid. That's why also it's showing me the average CPC, the average cost per click, and the average position that I would get if I bid this amount. If I'm only bidding 1 shekel, my average position will be maybe number 3, number 4, number 5, I don't know. But not everyone will see me, for sure. And even if they see me, they will see me in a lower position. I will not be the first result they see. If you want to be the top result, if I want to be number 1 always, I need to make sure that my bid is good enough. And Google will tell me, give me an idea of how much I need to bid to be number 1 or to be in the top results. Yes, it will tell you. Google will tell you exactly how much you can expect for how much you're willing to bid. Okay, so those are the metrics. And obviously you can play with it, you can add things, and you can get a lot of information from it. Let's see if I just change now location from Israel and I would go to the US. Let's go. United States country. Like on Facebook, you can target city, you can target different types of targeting. Let's take out Israel. Let's save. And let's see what happens. Boom. Look, the price has gone up double. In America, it's more expensive. It costs double, right, for the same keyword to bid on it. And there's much more competition. It's more expensive. Even with 5 shekels, so 6 shekels on average per click, I will only get 2.7 my average position, meaning I will have to bid more to be top result, to be number 1. I can see if I want to get 31,000 clicks per month out of 850,000 impressions, I will have to spend 180,000 shekels per month to cover all of America and to be very competitive in America and to have 850,000 people will see me in America per month. Okay?
And what keywords?
Dog food.
All these people that really see, they really buy from you.
Yeah, right. It's still small. Yeah, but that's why in America, listen, some people, I can tell you, really, I know a lot of stories or real life cases of businesses who have built their whole business based on Google Ads, and they made a lot of money. Have made millions. It starts from zero. I don't want to say too much, but I can tell you, if you search online, you'll find a lot of different types of success stories or courses that will tell you, learn how to use Google Ads to how I made $5 million using Google Ads starting from zero. Okay. Yeah. So obviously it's much more difficult today than it was 5 years ago. There's much more competition. The cost per click is much higher than it was before. prices are going up. The whole market is much more intelligent and sophisticated than it was before. Today, all the big companies and strong players are using machines, are using computers that are telling them how much to bid, on what keyword, at what time, and like you have algorithmic trading on the Bursa, on the stock exchange. You also have a lot of machines handling and managing Google Ads, but still, you can find opportunities by using Google Trends, looking for trends, by using this Google Keyword Planner and trying to find out places, niches, or little holes where there's much less competition. Or maybe you'll be the only one bidding for this keyword. Like I showed you the pizza, I showed you that only Pizza Hut was bidding in English because all of the others were bidding in Hebrew. Maybe I can bid in French. I'll be the only one in Israel bidding in French for something in pizza. Commander in pizza, order in pizza in French. In Israel, maybe I'm the only one. So maybe instead of paying 10 shekels per click, I will only pay 1 shekel per click. So there's always ways to be creative and find opportunities. Question, then we go on a break. Yeah.
Is it worth it to bid on misspelled words, for example, pizza with just one Z, or the Google will automatically correct it?
Great question. The answer is yes and no. So you can do both, and we're going to learn after the break. Remind me if I forget to show you exactly how to use those games or those tricks with the keywords, how to spell them. Does it include it or does it not include it? Does Google find it for me or not? Okay, so I'm going to show you how you can choose what are your options. Now, before we go on a break, I want to ask, okay, so before the break, I showed you how to use the Google Keyword Planner, okay, which is this tool here. If you forgot how to look for it, also once you're in the Google Ads dashboard, you have here on the top the little button Tools. You click on Tools, and you have the menu coming up, and then on the left side, you have the Keyword Planner. Okay. So there's a lot of options, and we don't have time today to go through all of them, but this is one of the most important ones when you want to plan your campaign. You want to know how many people are searching for keywords, how much it's going to cost you just to get an idea so you can get started. Okay. Now let's go through basics of building your first campaign. So let's go out of the Google Keyword Planner and come back to our home screen, okay? And obviously the first thing you want to do is to go to campaigns. Like on Facebook, I said there is, the top level is the campaign level. So when you want to make a new ad, you need to make a new campaign. But like I mentioned on Facebook, you have basically 3 levels of ads. You have the campaign level, which is the top level. You have the ad groups level, or in Facebook it's called the ad set, but it's underneath it. And then you have the ad itself. Now on Facebook, every ad is unique, right? But you can have, for example, different ads, right? One video like this, one video like that, one image, for targeting the same ad set or the same campaign level because they have the same audiences, they have the same budget, they have all the same targeting is the same. On Google, right, you have the campaign level, and then you have the ad itself, and you also have the keywords. So you can have a campaign. Under each campaign, it's basically divided into different keywords. Okay? So every keyword, you can have a different ad for every keyword. You can stop keywords, you can continue keywords. You don't need to stop a whole campaign to stop a keyword. So you have more control and more options regarding the keywords that you want to use, pause, resume, bid more, bid less. Okay, no problem. Bye-bye.
I have a question. If I'm bidding for a keyword, I want people to search that, like a certain keyword. Does that keyword have to be in my website?
Nope.
No?
Nothing to do with the website.
Oh, that's awesome. So
you can do whatever you want. Yes and no, because I'll tell you, there's a factor that, like in Facebook, but here is more important. They give you like a score. It's called like a relevancy score. Because they want to keep the quality of the experience for the consumer, for the people that are searching for information. So they will check that your website is compliant with their policy regarding the whole, the Google as a whole. So, you know, of course, you cannot advertise something illegal. You cannot advertise something which is, I don't know, you know, hurting privacy laws. You cannot, and you also, you cannot advertise something which is not relevant at all to the keywords you're searching for. For example, you could maybe advertise for football shoes, even that you only have basketball shoes on your website. But you cannot advertise for football shoes if you don't sell shoes. So it has to be, there must be a connection that is logical, that someone searches for it, the ad is somehow relevant to him. If no one will click on your ad because your product, your ad is not relevant to this audience, and your click-through rate will be very low, it will hurt you. It will hurt your campaign. Google will see it, and then it will stop showing your ad. So the quality of the ad and the relevancy to it is important, and it gives you a score from 1 to 10. The higher the score, the better it is for you, because then also Google will show you more. Google will try to give you you know, better positions or cheaper positions, and you'll have maybe an advantage over a competitor if you're both bidding for the same keyword with the same price. Then it will look at the keyword relevancy, at your score. And if your score is higher than a competitor, then you'll be ranking higher than them. So the quality of your website or the destination that you're sending them to, the quality of the relevancy of the text, all the experience as a whole is important, and is a factor for Google search. Okay.
Wait, so if I'm somebody searching for my competitor, which is called a tensiometer meter, which is similar to ours, but ours has data capabilities. You know what I showed you. How do I get them whenever somebody's searching for a tensiometer or buying tensiometers or soil moisture?
No, it's good enough for Google that it's the same industry. For example, if it's a accessory for agriculture and you're also agriculture, it's fine.
Oh, they'll know it's the next.
Yeah,
know
as long as, for now, you know, if I advertise the keyword pizza, I must be something to do with pizza.
Okay.
I cannot be selling shoes. That's what I said. There must be some relevancy to it.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Now, so let's go through the basics for building a campaign from scratch, like we did on Facebook. So first, I'll click on campaigns. Once I'm in the campaign, I will look for the plus sign. The plus sign over here. The blue plus sign here is basically the first step to make a new campaign, to add a new campaign. So I click on the blue button, and it will offer me the option to make a new campaign. I'll make a campaign from scratch. Okay. First thing Google is going to ask me, what type of campaign do I want to do? Similar to what we have on Facebook, but relevant to Google. So it wants to help me to give me the right type of goal for my campaign. So I can choose for sales, leads, website traffic, product and brand consideration, brand awareness and reach, ad promotion. You can see they are quite similar, maybe different wording, but the categories are more or less the same that we had with Facebook. If you remember, Facebook's more or less the same. Right? Maybe other words, but same idea. If you remember from Facebook, in order to tell Facebook, give me more sales, it's a conversion campaign, we need to use the pixel. We need to give information to Google, to Facebook. Facebook can learn, then optimize, and then find me more of the best potential buyers for myself. Same thing goes with Google. In order for Google to bring me sales, I need to have the Google Pixel installed on my website. I need to have some sales coming in so that Google can learn and start bringing me maybe more sales. So we will not start with sales. Like on Facebook, I will not start with a conversion campaign for sales. I will start usually for website traffic because I want to get maximum amount of people to click and come to my website. This is one option. Another option, like on Facebook also, it might be to consider the brand awareness, okay, to reach a broad audience and build awareness, similar to what we talked about. Now, if you look at it, some of the campaigns, when you click on the campaign, it will give you an explanation of what it means, okay? And you will get an explanation, and it will also have, on the bottom, different campaign types. It will show you where can you actually do or choose this option. Where can you use it? In what type of campaign? I told you that Google Ads includes a lot of different products, a lot of different search locations. So the main one we're focusing on today is search. It's Google search, right? When people are searching. But they have other ones, like for example, video. When it says here video, it's YouTube. YouTube is also part of the Google family. So through Google Ads, I can launch campaigns on YouTube, and I can show my video ad between other videos, after a video, right? So if you go to YouTube, you'll all see sometimes video ads more and more, like on TV. You can also put your ad over there. But this is a whole story on its own, so I don't want to get into it today. We won't have time. But, and then another one is shopping, Google Shopping. I mentioned it also before the break. The one we're targeting and using is Google Search. So this one, website traffic, is optional, is possible for search. Brand awareness reach is not optional for search. So I cannot use it for search. What is display? Video is YouTube. Display is the banners. So if I would like to in the future, and you're going to learn or try to do it yourself, and you want to make a campaign that will show banners on other websites, okay, for your product, then you will choose a campaign type, which is called a display campaign on Google. So basically for search, I can choose website traffic, I can choose leads, I can choose sales, and once again, leads is another type of conversion where it's going to count and track how many people have left their email address, the phone number on my website, or filled up a form. This is a lead, like on Facebook. Usually we're going to start with a website traffic campaign. So let's choose website traffic. Then I have to choose on which type of network of Google family I want to make my campaign. Like I said, today we're going to focus on search. Okay? And that will give me a very nice explanation. Once again, Facebook is really trying to move forward and showing you as much explanation as possible to make it really simple. So it's clearly showing you what it means, each one of them. Okay? It even shows you a preview. So you have search is here, the yellow box within a little search window. Display is the yellow banner on the website. Shopping is like a gallery of items in the shop that will appear in search results. And the video is, of course, on YouTube. We're going to search and look for search, clicking on search. The blue sign means it just chosen it. Great. Now I need to put the website. So I will tell them where I want people to send people to once I have a campaign. So let's put a website. That's one. This is the one from this campaign. You saying?
There's a way to open from up here, or we have to go down?
No.
Did they try the left door?
Ah, here they are.
The left glass door is open downstairs.
I just saw the message.
Okay, so we went through the first stage. As you can see here on the top, there are 4 stages, 4 steps to create a new campaign on Google Ads. First, you choose your campaign settings. Okay, like I showed you, you have to choose the objective, usually a website traffic campaign, the network that you're going to show it on, which is the Google search network. Then I had to choose the website I want to send them to. Now it's going to ask me once again and give me a little summary of what I've chosen so far. So here on the top, you can see I chose type search, goal, website traffic. If I need to change it, I could go here and click on the little pencil and change those options, edit them. Then I have to choose a campaign name. Campaign name is for myself. If I have different campaigns, I can give them names. Okay, so website traffic, search, and whatever. You can give it a name, whatever you want. Let's call it test. Here we go. Then, like on Facebook, you need to choose where do you want your ad to appear. So I already chose Google search, but like on Facebook, Google is a big family of a lot of different sites. So I can choose 2 options here. I can choose to appear only in Google search results, okay, and Google websites, or I can also appear on the other websites that are also using Google or Google search feature on their own website. So some websites, they can show ads, not only in banners, but also they can show, if someone in their site will look for pizza, it can show a sponsored result. It can show basically an ad that I can put and push directly from here. Like on Facebook, in the beginning or in general, I don't recommend that. I wouldn't do it. It's a bit more complicated and you might get less high quality and target traffic, so I will click it out. Like on Facebook, I remind you, don't use a display network. I only want to target and focus on Google itself, not on other websites. That's why I only click for search network. Then the next targeting I need to choose is the location. So here I can choose where, okay, where physically people are located will see my ad. It could be all over the world, and I have to choose the first option, all countries and territories. It could be only in a country, Israel, for example, or somewhere else. It can be, you have the options over here, a country, a city, a region, or a postal code. Okay.
A region could be what? Asia?
No, it's like a Jerusalem region. It's like Jerusalem, Alei Adumim, and you know. Okay, it's like now. Those are the simple options: country, city, okay, postal code. You have a little bit more advanced options. Okay, you can target people in or who show interest in your targeted location. You can target people who are in or regularly in your targeted location. Or you can target people who are searching for your targeted locations. So depending on your product and your service and how relevant it is, you can choose different options. Usually by default, you will have and use the one that are basically targeting people who are in the location that you want. Okay. After you chose the location, you have to choose the language. Now, like I said, language is important in Google because we're using typing searches that people are searching for. So the language of it is important. Now, not only this is important, the language of the keyword that people are using, because you're going to choose the keywords that you want to bid for and use your ad and show your ad on, but also the language of your so-called customers. Now, when it says here on Google, select the languages your customers speak, what does it mean by that? If you don't know, click on the question mark. Language targeting allows you to restrict where your ads can appear based on the user's language setting and the language of the site. Okay, so Google is going to look for the language settings on the computer or on the browser of the person searching for it. Let's say I'm in Israel. Let's say I want to target Russian-speaking people only. Then I need to target Israel because they are physically in Israel. But I only want to target Russian-speaking people. So I have two options. I can put a keyword in Russian next to the Russian language, yes, or I can use the language here and tell Google only show this ad to someone who his computer or his browser has the language as Russian. So in that case, it will only show it to people who the browser or their computer is in the language they want. By default, it will show it English. You can see the suggestion here, Hebrew, Russian, Arabic, because those are the ones that are popular in Israel. Okay, so by default, you can already see it's giving you the languages are in use in the location that you chose. If it's not important for you, then you can choose all of them. Then you have an option to choose your audience. Now, like I mentioned, Google is not as strong as Facebook for audiences, right? So it will give you some basic options, but they're not 100% accurate. They're not 100% all the time very detailed and helpful. So you can use it, but you don't have to use it. When will you maybe want to use it? If your product, let's say, is only relevant to really a specific group of people. Okay? Let's say I'm selling a product that's only for men who are over 60 years old, and I know for sure that no one. yeah, then no one's going to buy it if you're not in this group, then yes, I will use it because then it will be cheaper for me. Why will I want to waste money on people who I know I have no chance? So let's click here, select audience. And I can, like on Facebook, I can search for things or I can browse. Okay? So when I browse, I have different options similar to Facebook. I have demographics, tells me who they are, okay? What they are actively researching or planning, or how they have interacted with your business. So now you already know, because you know Facebook ads, you see it's very similar to what we have in Facebook. Those are the three categories we also have.
You'll need to unlock your iPhone first.
Those are the three famous categories we also have on Facebook, in other words. So we have who they are, the demographics, what they are actively researching or planning, it's the interest targeting that we talked about on Facebook. And the third one, how they have interacted with your business, is similar to the remarketing or custom audience that we talked about on Facebook using the pixel. So, for example, if I want to show the ad only to people who have visited my website, okay, I can do the same thing like I've done on Facebook, I can do it here on Google. Most of the times, you will have to use a pixel from Google. You need to install the Google Pixel on your website so they can track all the people who have come to your website. And then you can show the ad on Google to the people who already have come to your website, for example. This is one option. But once again, more or less, normally, by default, maximum you will use is the demographics. So let's click on who they are. And you can choose, see, there's a limited choices. Parental status, marital status, education, home ownership. It's not very precise, it's not very good, but this is what it can give you. So if you need it, you can use it.
It's not very precise, but you still suggest it, right?
If it's relevant to you, then use it. If it's not, then no, because it's very limited. It's not like on Facebook. Okay. For example, when you say in market, it says here categories like interest. Those are the categories that are very broad. It's not very detailed. It's really a category. You see food, business services. It's not very precise. It's much less precise than Facebook. That's why I don't like so much to use it, especially not for Google search campaign. I'll tell you why. When you're doing Google search campaign, you're targeting people who are searching for something. And if your keywords are correct, and are precise, then you know that if someone is searching this on Google and is typing it, it means he's relevant to you and you want him. And I don't care so much who he is. If he typed it, it means he needs it. And I want to show my ad to him. That's why the whole idea, the whole construction, the whole engineering and planning of my ad is very different. It's the opposite of Facebook. On Facebook, I'm trying to guess who will be my customer. On Google, I don't need to guess. Google is telling me who is my customer. So there's not really need for it. When will I use it much more? If I'm going to make a YouTube campaign, yeah, then I will need to use categories, interest as much as possible, because I cannot use keyword search. I could maybe, but it's another way. So it won't be as precise. So if you're making a campaign on display using banners on Google, or you're doing a campaign on YouTube, then you will use categories, demographics, and stuff like that. If you're doing it on Google search, then you don't need it so much. It's not so relevant that you have also not very much what to do with it. Now you need to choose the budget. So by default, it will ask you how much are you willing to spend each day. So here you can give yourself a daily budget, similar to what I said on Facebook. How much will you start with? Like I said on Facebook, you can start with, I would say I would offer like $5 per day or 20 shekels per day. Depending, of course, the cost per click, it can be more or less. If your cost per click is 100 shekels and it happens, it exists, then it will be difficult to have an active and relevant campaign if you're only willing to beat 5 shekels per day, because you won't never get a click if the average click is 100 shekels and you only want to beat 5 shekels. And does it exist? Yes. In America, for some industries, the cost per click can be even $100 per click. Right? where, for which type of industries, the higher the value of the customer, the more they're willing to pay. So usually in America, the highest value customers are for insurance companies, for banks, loans, things like that, because they're very long term and there's high amount of money involved. So companies are willing to spend $2,000, $3,000 to get one customer because they know that the value of one customer might be $20,000 over 20 years. So they're willing to pay. And any other method of acquiring customers will cost them not less, sometimes even more. So they would rather spend more money on Google ads because they know it's very targeted. It's very, it's a customer that's very interested in their product right now. It's a very warm audience, so-called, than to just make a TV campaign, which is much broader and less warm as an audience. Warm audience means someone who has shown his interest, who is relevant, who is warm, who is ready to make the sale, to buy. Okay. So this is the daily budget. Then bidding. So bidding, you can choose basically what you focus wants. You know, what is your focus? Most of the time you want conversions. You can tell them clicks, but at the end you want clicks that convert. You want people that come to your website, but you want the best people to come to your website, not the junk. So I don't care how many clicks I have. On the contrary, I would rather have less clicks but higher quality. Why? Because I'm paying per click. On Facebook, I want the maximum amount of clicks because I don't pay per click. I pay per impression, per view. So I want to try to get as many clicks as possible. So I should get something out of the campaign. I'm spending money. I'm spending 100 shekels to show it in front of, I don't know, 10,000 people. I want as many clicks as possible. On Google, it's the opposite. I don't care. I might have 1 click per day, but I want the best click. I want the click that converts. I don't want to spend 1 shekel per click on 1,000 clicks because then I'll spend 1,000 shekels and I might end up with 1 email address or something like that. So yes, you want to try to use conversions, and that's why it's giving it to me by default. Okay. So this will be like this page, this settings for campaigns.
How does it know that you converted somebody?
Because I will install on my website the pixel, and I will explain to Google what is a conversion for me. I will tell them when someone comes to this or that place, then for me it's a conversion.
They have to buy it?
A conversion can be someone who has clicked on somewhere on my website. It can be someone who has gotten to a certain page in my website. It can be someone who has filled up a form. You have a lot of, like a whole range of options.
Okay.
Right, okay. Now we're moving to the step 2, set up ad groups. Similar to, once again, to Facebook. Now, by default, I will only have and need 1 ad group per campaign, okay, if you want to keep it simple. You can give it a name if you want to, not have to. If not, by default, we give a random name. Then you need to choose the keywords. So because I need to tell Google what keywords will my ad shown in. So let's make, let's say dog food, whatever, dog food, 1 option, order dog food, order dog food online. Okay, so I'm giving you a few options here. I'm showing you a few options. It can be short, it can be 1 word, it can be a series of words like I show you here. Okay, order dog food online is more specific than just dog food. The more specific your keyword, the more chances you have that it will be someone who is actually interested in what you want from them. If you want them to buy and order dog food online, then try to go for it. But sometimes people are lazy, or people don't know exactly what they want, and they're just looking for information, trying to find what's available. And then that's why sometimes you also want to go with much broader or shorter keywords, simpler keywords, more generic. So I gave you here a few options. Anyways, when you make a campaign, usually you will have many keywords, more than 1 or 2. You'll have a list of 5, 10, 20, 50, 100, whatever. Now, the bigger the budget, the more keywords obviously you can play with and you can target. One of the key insights I want you to remember is that in any case, it's always a good idea, especially in the beginning, that one of the keywords that you are using should be your own keyword, your own name. Okay? So if your website is called dogfoodtlv.com, then add the keyword dogfoodtlv, because you want to make sure whether you did good work on SEO or not, whether your website is number 1, number 2, number 5, that you're the first one that shows up when someone is looking for yourself. If not, then it's a really bad sign for yourself, for your customer, for everyone. You're just losing business. So always bid on your own keyword, okay? Always make sure that you're number 1. Don't forget also that your competitors, they could hijack and they could bypass you and they could use this keyword to be number 1. So don't forget to be there when someone is searching for you. Okay, so always add your own keyword, your own name, your own domain name as a keyword. Okay, now another big factor, which is the answer to your question back in over there in the back, is do I need to type like mistakes, spelling mistakes of keywords, like food or whatever? Sometimes people type fast, or there's autocomplete, and words end up wrong. Now Google is very smart. When you type something wrong in the searches, it will correct it automatically. Even if I type pizza instead of pizza, it will show me pizza result because it knows that people make mistakes all the time. The A, the R, whatever, it's closed. On the phone, sometimes you make mistakes. It will autocorrect and suggest the right things for you. Now, as an advertiser, if I want to be also featured on different options, Google is giving me different ways to do it and to decide. And this is where it's called like a match type, okay? So this is what I can see here in the highlighted section on the screen. So match types help control which searches can trigger your ads or when your ads are going to show. So when you put a keyword like that, like it is simple, plain, without anything else, it's called on Google a broad match. Okay? Then you have a second option. It is the same word, but with those quote marks. Okay? If you put a quote mark before and after the keyword, Google calls it a phrase match. And the third option is to put the keyword between brackets, squared brackets, okay? And Google calls it an exact match. So let's go briefly. You can see there's a learn more button. But let's go briefly and actually explain to you what it means. Okay? So if I just put the keywords like this here, Google calls it a broad match. It means that Google will show my ad to everyone or anyone who would type these keywords in that order, in this order, so it may be dog food or food dog in any type of order. And also if someone types dog food Israel, dog food Syria, whatever. If there are other words before, after, as long as those two keywords appear in the search, it will show my ad. This is a broad match. Okay? The one which is phrase match, which is the one between the quotes. Phrase match means it will only show my ad, okay, is if those two words are inside it, and that's it. So it will only show my keyword, my ad, if someone has typed dog food or food dog. Doesn't matter the order, but it must only be those two keywords. If someone typed dog food Israel, it won't show up. It's phrase match. It must match the phrase between the brackets. And the third one between the quotes, between the brackets, the third one, which is called an exact match, as it says, it will only show my keyword if it looks exactly, if it appears exactly as it is. So if I type dog food and I put those squared brackets between them, it means my ad will only show if someone has typed exactly and only dog food in this order. Bidyuk, exactly as it is. Those are the three types of matching that you can do. Now, if you ask me, which one should I use? So once again, it depends. If you want a very, very precise targeted campaign, and you don't want to waste money, or you don't want to take risks, then you can use the freeze match or the exact match as much as possible. Sometimes it might not be enough. Maybe not enough people are looking for it. Maybe you do want to open yourself to other suggestions, to other ideas that people will look for. In the beginning, you don't know exactly what and how people are behaving. So you want to test out. You want Google to give you information. You want to see what type of keywords give you the best, the bigger amount of clicks on your ad and how much you pay for them. So I would suggest to start with a broad match so that you can test things out and see where it takes you. You can always then close, stop, optimize, and refine your campaign. So those are the ideas for the keywords. I know you might have questions, but I want to move forward so we can finish it. Okay, so now basically we got to the last step before the confirmation, is the ad itself. So you can see ad group 1, keywords, the keywords I have chosen, and right now I'm going to make one ad. You can have multiple ads if I would like 2 different versions of the one campaign, but I'll just do right now one. So I'll have the final URL, meaning when someone clicks, where will it go? Okay? It can be a home page. It can be also an inside page inside your website. It can be a landing page, whatever you want. Then, as it says very clearly, okay, you can see a preview here on the right side. You can choose a headline, headline 1, headline 2, headline 3, description 1, description 2. You can see all those options. Now, what it means, it gives you an example here on the right side. So now every of those lines has a limitation of how many characters meaning letters or numbers, that you can type, how much space there is. So the headline 1, you only have 30 characters. So here I would write the main message, like the slogan or the trigger, why I want them to click and why it's relevant for them. So, best dog food in Israel. Okay, so it's 23 characters out of 30. Headline 2, free shipping 24 hours, whatever. Okay, now you can see how it appears. That's the top, the headline that people will see in the search results. In blue, the headline. Okay, in green, the URL, the website. Then, if I want, there are other options. I can add a third headline if I want, and I can add, or I should add, description. Here I can put a sentence or 2, 90 characters each, describing, once again, my product. So, for example, whatever. Okay, so the idea is it exists actually.
It does exist.
It does exist.
Really?
Yeah, of course, they have kosher for Pesach, for Passover dog food. Everything is, you'll be surprised. There's vegan dog food. There's everything.
Wait, which rabbi?
Everything exists. You'll be surprised. There is a market for everything. It's not that you should learn about marketing. There is a market for everything. Yeah. Yes.
Well, if you're a vegan, your whole family's vegan.
No, it does.
Seriously, no vegan dogs. No vegan dogs. Anyways, so you see, it's really simple. There's no really room for anything too fancy. There is no room for an image or video or anything like that because it's a search result, right? It's really simple, to the point. You can see a preview by default, the preview on the mobile phone. You can see a preview if you type here how it look on the desktop. You can see very clearly, very simple. I finish that, I click save and continue. And then basically everything is ready, and I only need to basically to show me a confirmation of everything I've chosen, and I finished setting up the campaign. That's what I chose, so this is what they would do. I chose. I typed it in. Okay, that's it. Now, if you have a few short questions, I'm happy to answer, and if not, then that's it for today.
If I want to add the search, if I want to add images.
By the way, this is important. If you want to pause your campaign, you can see the green button, the green lights, it means running. I can pause it, see, enabled, post. Click on the, find the green dot and pause your campaign. Same thing, once again, you have different levels, right? You have the ad group level, the campaign level, and also have the keywords. You can see here the menu, the keywords. If I want to look how did my keywords do, and maybe to stop some of them or add new ones, I can go to keywords here on the menu. Okay, right now, all the keywords are green. I mean, they are active, but my campaign itself is post. So it says it's keyword can't run ads because it's post. So let's say it's after a week and I want to see how did I do with all those keywords. I can go here. I can see, oh, these clicks come from here. That was the average cost per click, etc., etc. I say, you know what? I don't need this. This keyword doesn't work well. So I can pause it. Or I could delete it, but let's say I want to pause it. So I can pause it. It won't show. Yeah, it won't. It will pause. It won't show in the ads, in the recent search. Okay.
How do you insert those slow links in the ads?
So those are called extensions. You can see here on the menu, it says ads and extensions. And you can add, it will show you in the, when you set up an ad, you can add extensions like those little extra links. Okay. Anything else?